Hello everyone. I'm going to go ahead and show you one of my favorite chemical reactions other than elephant toothpaste. This one's called thermite. Thermite is really neat. All you use are two different chemical compounds. One's called iron oxide, which is basically rust, iron trioxide, and aluminum powder. This is a chemical reaction that was actually performed when the Transcontinental Railroad was built. If they had to do any welding on site, because they were so remote, they could easily scrape off the rust from any of the iron they had. You could take aluminum and you could powder it, and if you get a hot enough temperature, you can do thermite, which means you produce molten iron. It's so hot, the iron's in a liquid state. So basically, we're gonna make lava. So a really cool reaction. So to do that, we need lots of material. We need 11 grams of aluminum, the aluminum powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure that out first. Oh, a little bit too much, and it's pretty precise. You have to have the right amounts in the right ratio, or it won't really work very well. So 11.2, that should be close enough. We'll go ahead and put that into our beaker, and we're going to mix that with the rust, with the iron trioxide. Make sure that we don't spill any of this. A little bit is okay, but we want to get as much in there as possible. Okay, good. Success there. Now we're going to go ahead and measure the iron trioxide. And this, we need 32 grams. So I'm gonna have to measure this twice. 2 batches of 16, because it's an awful lot of material. There we go, that's 15.8, that's close enough. So we'll put that in there as well, and I'm just gonna get a little messy here and use my gloves. As long as they're not moist, should work pretty well. And I'll use a spatula. I'm spilling a little bit here. Okay, good. And then we'll go ahead and measure another batch of the 16. This one we'll try and make 16.2 since the other one was 15.8. That way we have exactly what we need, 32. Oh, too much. There we go, 16.2. We'll go ahead and put that in there as well. And trying not to spill any. That's a tricky part. Wish I had a larger beaker, but you know, it's a little hard with COVID-19 going on to just go back to the chem lab and get another beaker. It was hard enough to get into the school to get the supplies to do the demos. I don't think they're going to want to let me back in again. Alright, got all that in there, and so now we're going to go ahead and mix this up. Now we got to get this very well, this has to be completely mixed. Nice, evenly mixed, heterogeneous mixture. Otherwise it's not going to work right. We have to have the aluminum and the iron trioxide interspersed perfectly in there, so if I kind of do it prematurely and pour it in there, then we might not get a reaction, which would really be a bummer. Starting to get a little dark out, so it's kind of hard to see, but it looks pretty mixed. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pour that right into the middle here. Make ourselves a little volcano. And then put our piece of magnesium ribbon in there, which is really gonna act as our fuse that we're gonna actually ignite first, because there's a lot of energy that's needed to get this reaction to start. You can't just simply mix it. You have to have what's called a high activation energy. Enough of energy to where you can get the reaction to just start, and it requires a tremendous amount of heat, which magnesium can provide for us. So there we go. And then we're going to go ahead and get our torch lit, our Bunsen burner. A little portable torch. Need to close the vents. And then we'll open them up again so we get a nice hot blue flame. Blue's a and get out of the way. So that's the thermite reaction. So if you come up close to it and you take a look, that literally is molten iron. It's lava if you take a look at it. And just to show you, if I take a paper towel, and this will stay hot for probably about 20 minutes or so. It burns just as soon as it comes in contact with it. So it's super hot. So that's a thermite reaction. 2 parts aluminum, 1 part iron 3 oxide, which is rust, which makes your molten iron and your aluminum oxide. Single replacement reaction.